Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, I said I was going to do polls and kind of tell you like how the Democrats are very, very worried about this situation and how it's going on. And it ain't looking too great for Kamala Harris. As I showed you before, she was doing this type of fake campaign where she was at this Pinsy's Spices business, and only to end up having to fake it all out because that's what she can do. And it has immensely backfired because these are now the polls of what's going on here, and it's not even the debate yet. And the debate, I think she is going to get completely destroyed because she's been hiding for this entire time. Now, what we have here is this from David Chapman saying, New York Times poll, Biden 2020 versus Harris 2020-24. Biden in 2020 among Hispanics had a plus 28 and Trump 31%. Among blacks, Biden 81% plus 74, and then 7%. Now, this is with Kamala Harris 2024 among Hispanics plus 12% and Trump 40%. Among blacks, Kamala Harris is 75% plus 62 and Trump 13%. And that's what's going on here. Now, this is not that bad, considering the fact that there's quite a big drop before. And I don't think Trump has 13% of the black population, by the way. I think it's a lot more than that people seem to realize. I think it's closer. We actually did polls before where it was closer to like 18, 20%, give or take. So I think it's a lot worse than what David Chapman is saying. But he's also going on to here to saying this as well, that New York Times Siena College poll has Trump leading nationally 48% to 47%. And Harris is running way behind the past two Democratic nominees. In September 2016, the New York Times poll had Clinton plus 2, and in 2020, the New York Times poll had Biden plus 8. This poll is very bad news for Kamala Harris, and I agree. And this is what's going on now. You have to see this. The Harris campaign is in a state of a panic, and it ain't good. It ain't good. Because if Trump truly is 1% ahead of Kamala Harris, and it's not even like, they haven't even done the debate yet. That is traumatic, guys. That is devastating for Kamala Harris in every single regard. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It ain't good for Kamala Harris. And I'm going to be showing you on how bad and how much they're panicking here and some of these situations that they've gone through, because they're really just coping and seething over this whole situation. Take a look.
The same New York Times poll shows this race nationally is a toss-up right now. 1 point separates Harris and Trump, again, within the margin of error. But look at who people see as the change candidate. 53% say Trump represents major change, just 25% for Harris. Maybe seems counterintuitive since Trump was already president. He hasn't stopped talking about 2020. What do you make of it?
Well, I think that change number should be higher because Trump would represent the greatest change in the history of the American Republic. He would take our democracy and turn it into an authoritarian strongman, likely dictatorship on day one, his own words, not mine. So those numbers don't surprise me. But look, I think with Kamala Harris, tomorrow's debate, you got to understand, this is the last major event before Election Day. Now, people think Election Day in November, not true. Election Day starts next week when ballots in Pennsylvania will begin being cast. So this is really an opportunity for her to, yes, as Chris says, draw some policy contrast. But I don't think it's really about that. I think it's about showing that voters can trust her, that she is a credible commander-in-chief, that she is ready to assume and become president and lead our country into a stable growth. We've had tremendous economic success over these last 4 years under Harris and Biden, and if she could continue to make that case and let Trump be Trump, he will not be able to resist with the insults, with the demeaning things, and he wants to make it a mud fight. If she can rise above that, be ready for that first zinger, and switch pages quickly, I think she's going to be in strong shape.
Yeah, and I don't think that she is going to be in strong shape, guys. I think that she is going to be in a terrifying shape. Because, again, what we have here consistently with Kamala Harris is that she has been running away from debates. When she did the CNN debate, it was supposed to be around an hour, right? Give or take, guys. Supposed to be an hour. Well, CNN, they decided to cut off like almost 50% 50-60% of the actual interview and made it like 18 minutes. And then within those 18 minutes, they were all terrible. They were not good. So, like, how can you say that this debate is going to go well for her, everything's going to go good, when CNN themselves, that was favored to like her, favored to do this stuff, was quite obviously making it to where it was worse, right? Where they were making it to where it to try to better her, and she still just didn't look good. And I don't know about you, but it seems like it's a catastrophe waiting to happen for her. And, of course, we have this theory from Derek Donji saying the latest New York Times poll would give Trump a near 100%, negative 100% chance at winning the Electoral College, or 100% chance of winning the Electoral College. And it says, and it's crazy. Like, this is what's going on here. I'm not telling you guys to not go and vote, because by all means, go vote, 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 vote. We have to go and vote. Like many people say, if we have to make this account as Trump is constantly down 2 or 3%. If we want to make this a wave, a tsunami, make this a mega tsunami. Make this something to where it shows the Democratic Party, you mess with America, you show that you're going to be doing this, and we're just not going to stand it. Americans are not going to stand it. So go out and vote. You have to. It is, our country depends on it. Your family's lives depends on it. Even if you say that, like, okay, I don't want to do it for the country, well, do it for your family, because you know your family's lives dependent on it. And again, of course, from Politico, Harris' team worried she'll be handcuffed by debate rules set by Biden. So they're really, really panicking here. They're really just terrified of what's going on with these polls. And if we go and look at this with the polls in current, it's still not looking great for her.
This was big news from the New York Times. Put this up on the screen. This is considered like an A+ pollster. When this poll comes out, Washington really reacts. And boy, did they react to this one, understandably so, because it showed significant backsliding for Kamala Harris. She is now losing to Donald Trump by a single point, 47 to 48. That is within the margin of error of 3 percentage points, but obviously not the kind of numbers that Democrats want to see right now. Their commentary here, they say Mr. Trump may have had a rough month following President Biden's departure and amid the burst of excitement that Ms. Harris brought Democrats, but the polls suggest his support remains remarkably resilient. Let's put the next piece up on the screen. This is what we alluded to like 85 times in the last segment, which is they asked this question, very good question to ask. Do you feel like you still need to learn more about Kamala Harris, or do you pretty much already know what you need to know? 28%, so nearly a third of the electorate says, I feel like I need to learn more about Kamala Harris, versus 71% who say they pretty much already know what they need to know. The numbers were much lower for Trump in terms of like feeling like they needed to learn more. And if you look at these crosstabs, which let me just keep it up on the screen here for a moment, just caution you with the crosstabs because it's a smaller sample, it's a much broader margin of error, so you always take these with even more grains of salt than the overall poll numbers. But the age demographic and the demographic that really stands out in terms of needing to know more is young Americans, 18 to 29, a majority, 53% say they need to learn more. And then if you look at minority demographics, 41% of Black Americans, 43% of Hispanic Americans, and 44% of non-white, non-college educated voters say they need to know more. This underscores the danger of the strategy that they have been pursuing, which has been, we'll call it the generic Democrat strategy of like, we're going to say as little as possible. We're not even, they just put the issues page up on their website under pressure. She did give, a speech about some of the things she wanted to do, but she has been very cautious in terms of, putting herself out in front of the media. They haven't been leaning in hard to specifics in terms of an agenda. And so you end up in this situation where instead of being Barack Obama, where everybody projects on you whatever they want to see, instead they're looking at her and going, I don't really know who you are, what you want to do. So, this is the risk.
So yeah, this is not going great for Kamala Harris. And this is what happens when you think that your country is an idiot, when you think your country is not intelligent, and you ignore the fact that that the people want to know exactly what your policies are, this is the consequence of those actions. You're going to get people voting for the other party. Now, I think that the Democrats are really in a rock between a rock and a hard place. Because if you do say that you want to vote for your policies because they're all communist, they're all this stuff, then what's going to happen is that nobody's going to want it because most people in the country don't want a communist country. And if you don't, well, this is the result of what happened. So they're really playing behind this game here of, say nothing and let's try to win this. And that's not what's happening. And this is a huge problem for Kamala Harris in particular. And I don't think the debate is going to go well. I think she's going to get absolutely crushed in the debate. She's been wanting, Trump was able to win in the fact that he was going to have the debate exactly like Trump. No hot mic, no notes and stuff like that. No sitting down and nothing like this. So therefore, now that Kamala Harris can't get her way, she's going to look like more of a fool. Because Kamala Harris, she was the one that was asking for notes to sit down and to have a hot mic. And that's not happening, and now she's being terrified of the situation that's in front of her. And if far leftists, if you want to tell me, okay, well, that's not true. That's not true. She has all the support and all that stuff. Like, really? Is she really selling out all of her campaigns? Has she not been, more looks like she's honestly paying people to be there than to not be there. They're trying to entice people from celebrities to be at the DNC, and they didn't show up, which I would think that maybe their numbers might have been inflated because people wanted to see the concert rather than the DNC. That, like, all these things are just showing that she's not qualified for this, and she's been hiding. And she's only done one interview, guys, and that's with CNN, and it was supposed to be an hour. And it was cut down to 18 minutes. And she hasn't done very many events. So I don't know what to tell you. She hasn't done interviews. She hasn't done anything. She says, like, if she's not hiding, then why didn't she accept the Fox News interview? Why didn't she accept any of Trump's other interviews in the process, including with the ABC? She just didn't. So she is a coward. She is running away, and there's nothing you guys can fight against it. This is just the reality of what you're going to have to do. I think Kamala Harris is going to be doomed, and if Trump gets any more of a lead, it's probably going to be a win. Not again, guys, don't act like this is the end. Don't go and vote. No, go vote, because we need to in order to win this. Like, this is not something we can just take lax on. No, don't look at it. As some people say, it's a trap and something like that. Don't fall for the trap. It's very close. They can win if even a few of us just don't go out and vote. So vote, and let's win this election and get our country back on track. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.